back to workouts, back to higher training volume, but a refocus is required leading into this final week of my 10K training. What is up guys, Andy Forrest Team Runner here. Welcome back to another video, and this is week 10 of my 10K challenge. So with the glute pretty much healed up now and just battling a little bit of tightness in that right leg, we are now nearly there. But it is time to refocus, have a look at what happened over the last 3 weeks and really think about what the goal is for Lliswerry next weekend. And then of course shift that refocus or put that focus in place leading into the marathon training block. But before we talk all about that, we're going to hear from Coach Will as to what our one focused and featured workout is this week, and then we're going to roll straight into what was a rather torrential downpour, crazy type of workout.
Right then, Mr. Rayner, it's a bit cold outside, a little bit windy, hence my kind of orangey warm look. So we've been talking about frequently about what's going on with your glute and what we're going to do to kind of keep testing it, keep pushing forward. We don't want to do anything too sharp too yet because we risk aggravating it. So I'm only going to set you one session to do this week if we do it. I need you to be sensible on it. It's just going to be 4 times 6 minute tempo with a 60-second recovery. That recovery again, just a nice easy jog. Each rep, kind of run it at that tempo effort. Don't worry about the pace. The pace is not like the big issue here at the moment. Basically looking to see how the glute is responding. Fingers crossed it's all going to be okay, and it will still be all good for your Welsh Place 8 miler. Looking forward to see how you do. Let me know how it goes, boss, and as ever, see you later.
All right, good morning and welcome to this week's feature workout. It is insane out here. I am soaked through. I've only done a 15-minute warm-up. The weather here is torrential today. We've got horrific rain and we've got wind that is unreal. I had a windy session 3 or 4 weeks ago. This takes it to the next level. So we're going to be doing 4 by 6 minutes tempo effort today. And by the way, I hope the audio is okay. I'm going to keep wiping it gently to make sure no rain gets in there. So the long and short of it is I'm going to be heading out that way on the industrial estate for reps 1 and 3 and back this way for 2 and 4. When I head out that way for 1 and 3, the wind will be in my face. When I run back this way, it will be behind me. I had this, as I said, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think around 540s for the way out, and it was 520s for the way back, or 530s or whatever. No way that that's going to happen today. Obviously, this is my first speed workout in 2 weeks and 1 day. I am actually testing out the Next Percent version 1s that I got in the Nike sale for £101. These are my racing shoes. They're having their break-in run today and then going back in their box for races only. So they might help a little bit today, but overall that wind is brutal. And I need to be careful, obviously, with the glute injury. That's something that I need to be aware of as well. But before we do anything, we're going to do a really sensible warm-up, some drills and strides as I've been doing every single week. And that will give me a good idea as to how my glute and everything's feeling. Do some bounding up this hill, really open up the gait cycle. And then we're just going to roll straight into this, otherwise I'm going to get hypothermia. So let's get on with it and let's see how we do. There we go, rep 1 done. 5:39 into this wind, hands down right now. I'm going to regret that come rep 3 or rep 4. .5:39. I would have hoped that would have been a bit quicker because the wind was behind me, but I gassed on that first one. These next two are going to be fun. Alright, let's keep it calm. 5:38 per mile, so didn't fade. Yeah, see what you're on the last one. Okay, 5:34. That is solid. Maybe it's just because I'm unconditioned rather than unfit. It is very possible. That's what Will said anyway. I said I'll be unfit. He said you'll just be a bit unconditioned to the suffering. So we'll see. 30-second reps out. 4 of them. Nice spin of the legs. There we go, workout complete. Happy with those last 30 seconds as well. They're all sub 5-minute miles. So I think overall what Will was saying was right. I'm just unconditioned. I'm not necessarily unfit. I've managed to keep a decent level of sort of mileage throughout this glute niggle. 20 odd miles the first week, 30 odd the second, 20 odd the third, or 30 odd the third, I can't remember. And this week is going to be like in the 40s. So slowly but surely just building back up. It did feel hard. I really did feel like I gassed myself, but then I surprised myself in the last 2 reps of that main set because I had the gas in the tank. So yeah, it just shows fitness doesn't particularly go anywhere. If you're sensible with your recovery, you can get back to it pretty quickly, and I think in 2 or 3 weeks I'll be firing on all cylinders again. I think the one thing to note, in all honesty, and I will be honest with you guys, is the glute got a little bit pinchy in those last 30 seconds. Not pain, but just let me know it was there. Now next week I've only got 1 workout, and that's on a Wednesday, so I've got 5 days now to take it easy, do some easier miles. But it feels fine now, but it just reminded me it was there, so just got to see how I recover from this. But overall I've got to say, really solid.
So I won't reiterate what I was just saying there at the end, but I do have to say, upon reflection, recording this sort of later on that day, I have to say I feel really good about how that went, and surprised that my paces were where they were. I know the next percents will have helped, but ultimately how I felt out there was that I really went to the well in that first workout. I got a max HR of 186, which is crazy. I've never had that before. That is a new highest heart rate. I hit 185, I think it was like earlier in the block, and now today 186. So not sure if that sensor reading was right, but certainly felt like it when I was running into the wind and all that rain pelting me in the face, plus all the standing water there. It was a bit of a nightmare, but then I seemed to settle into it. I thought I was going to absolutely blow a gasket, and I didn't. I seemed to kind of regain my composure, and I was able to execute the workout really well, and those last 30 seconds were really good. And as I said, there was a slight pinch in the glute, not pain, but a little bit of discomfort, just kind of warning me, all right, come on, you're easing back into this, just be careful in those last 30 seconds. But other than that, it was all good, and right now it feels better than it has done. So maybe, just maybe, that tightness will now start to go, because it needed a little bit of opening up, and putting those faster paces in has now moved everything, put the motion in place in my body to allow things to start to heal. Who knows, I have found that in the past, where I go and have a good hard run out and things start to get better. Maybe this is exactly what it needed. So let's have a talk about this refocus. Obviously Lliswerry is not going to be what I wanted it to be. I wanted to go out there, as you guys know, and I've repeated it multiple times. I didn't end up getting to run a 10k in this block. I did have one, we had the goal one originally, which never materialized, and I had one mid block, but illness struck me down on that one, so it ends up being the 8-mile Lliswerry race. And what I had my mind set on was going out as close to, or hopefully averaging as close to 5:23 per mile as possible, which is my 10k PB pace. I knew it was going to be over a longer distance, so I kind of compromised with myself. All right, you're not going to run faster than 10k pace over the 8-mile distance, but see how close you can get, and as close as you can get, sort of like class that as a win in the book of this block. just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. I'm not there. I maybe would have been there and I felt really good before the glute injury, but it is what it is. And so we have to refocus, because one of the points in one of my recent videos for marathon training leading into it about having a strong block and doing all the things beforehand is to not go in with a niggle. And that is exactly what's on my mind right now. I now have 7 days to get myself in a position where I have no niggles whatsoever. All I have left is tightness in the leg, and hopefully that will go by the end of next weekend so that I can roll into week 1 of marathon training feeling really, really good. I mean, it felt really, really good today and I feel good to go, but I want this tightness to disappear. So in terms of Lliswerry, I'm going to put it out there. I think after today's workout, and I've got one workout next week, just the one, so it'll be a nice and easy week, which again, I appreciate Will setting that, not having any more, having quite a relaxed and chilled week. I'm thinking I might still be able to average in the 5:30s. I was kind of getting to a point last week where I thought to myself, not going to happen. You're going to be running quite slow and it's not going to be the best race. But overall, I think I'm going to hopefully aim for the 5:30s, depending on conditions, depending on how things are feeling. I think I'm going to give it a go. I feel like I'm in a position now with Lliswerry where I can go out there and just work hard and see where I'm at. And I'm just hoping that if I can nail 5:30s over 8 mile distance, it's going to set me up really nicely for the marathon training block. So as always, I just want to remind you guys, all the training is on the website, being kept up to date in the training post that's on there. I'll highlight it on screen for you. If you want more details on how the training is going or what I've been doing, you can go and read it all there from week 1 right the way through to now. And again, just like last week, a massive thanks to the 3 companies that have my back and are supporting me and that I'm working with. Noble Pro, the treadmill specialist. Don't forget, there's a discount in the description below. X Miles, all your place to go for all your nutrition needs, discount below. And Pure Sport, keeping me healthy and feeling good throughout these training blocks, again, discount below. So a massive thanks to them as well, and again to you guys for sticking around to this penultimate week, with the last week to come next Sunday, and of course the big race. So that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you sticking around to the end of the video. If you did, please give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Until then.